Cold wall effect, at the end of the day, it really is about temperature differential. So the temperature differential is driving water, and that water wants to drive through whatever material you have. And if it has an affinity for water, that water is going to go through that material and want to drive to that cold surface. If you have a situation where the pipe is outside and it's cold, and you have even, we'll call it ambient temperature inside of the plant waters, but your outside temperature is below freezing. That's enough of a temperature differential to want to drive water through whatever liner you have. If you don't have the right material selected, water will drive through that surface. Once it gets to the steel, your once well bonded surface is no longer bonded to plain steel anymore. It becomes rusted steel, and nothing's bonding to rust, and you get a delamination of that material to that steel. Once rust starts in one spot, it starts to migrate and branch out. Same thing happens on any type of steel substrate with cold wall. When you don't account for cold wall, leads to unplanned failures. That catastrophic failure leads to what they call blisters or bubbles inside that can become torn off, and then that torn off piece of liner can go through your line, and that liner ends up in your pump. We want to use some of the best abrasion resistant materials you can offer. We believe that's a polyurethane. We can design that polyurethane specific to that application. By putting a rubber underneath it, we can forget about cold wall because that's not a worry anymore. We want to design that material for abrasion resistance and let that do the job of the abrasion. We let the rubber liner do the job of the cold wall. So it stops the cold wall from ever reaching that steel. And the way we've learned that was, again, years of experience. In the iron ore countries, every tailings line of our iron ore manufacturers use rubber lining as their tailings line. That's outside pipe. Again, 4 months of cold temperatures. Rubber lining is a good wear material for them. It lasts them 15 years without any issues of cold wall, with 50 plus years of data in northern Minnesota that says cold wall is not your issue. So we use that knowledge and our knowledge of our area of providing rubber lining systems for those iron ore manufacturers and say, hey, let's combine a rubber that we know works for cold wall because it works in northern Minnesota. Let's put a highly abrasion resistant polyurethane. We know it has cold wall issues, but if we put a highly abrasion resistant material combined with a material that solves cold wall, put those two together, that's how the Iracore liner was developed. And at this point, we've had, since 2006, had success stopping cold wall. We have not had one cold wall failure to the steel since we've started installing our Iracore liner system.